Yeah, let me medicate. I need something to get me in the right place of mind. No snakes hanging around any place of mine. I'm trying to build an empire, we in two different states of mind. I'm trying to escape the confines of my city limits, but shit get risky as making one of these shorties and misses. Gotta keep a low profile nowadays. I'm staying out the way, you single niggas wildin' with these low rates of retention. Jumping at the first chance you get cause she showed you some attention. I love this life out the spotlight.
Welcome to another episode of Lab Rats Loaded Minds. I'm Aubrey Jr. Of course, one of your hosts, my boy Twan on the other side. We've just been halfway through now into the NFL season, and this past Sunday, we just finished up with some bangers of a games, 1 o'clock games, a bunch of close games, some good 4 o'clock games that were close, and maybe that Sunday night football game wasn't the closest, but we did get to see some great things in that game. So starting off, we got the Broncos versus Texans. That game was a good game. 18-15 was the score. Broncos came up with the win on a game-winning kick. That now puts them at 7-2, making them one of the top NFL teams right now. Then when you have the good old Pat Mahomes versus Josh Allen, Chiefs versus Bills, 21-28, Bills way. Josh Allen now continues to lead the regular season games, 5-1, and Mahomes is still 4-0 in playoff competition between them two. Then you have the Panthers versus the Packers. That game went 16-14, and the game went actually the Panthers' way, which is crazy because the Panthers has been underdogs in every game they've played, and they have a 5-4 record right now. So, what is the Browns doing? Falcons versus Patriots.
I was literally about to say, to be a Browns fan, like no words. I have no words, bro.
Hey, we
It's
gotta
crazy. I,
chill.
I hate to mention the Browns too, but it's
We
just like,
gotta
bro.
chill. We gotta chill. So we got the Falcons versus the Patriots. That was a 23-24 game. Went the Patriots' way. And they continue their winning streak of 6 games in a row now. Um, and it's crazy because we actually know somebody who took some pictures, and you had
Oh,
Cardi B in attendance
facts,
next to
facts,
Robert Kraft hitting the
facts.
hitting the air on him.
Hey, shout out Bree. Shout out Bree. Definitely. I
Yeah.
feel I feel like she was just one of those people that we met this summer out at summer league. Showed us love.
Mhm.
Definitely, spent some time with us. Got to take some good pictures. Sat in on the Sham episode. Gave us flowers. We gave them back. And
Yep.
definitely hope to be connecting with her again soon. So yeah, definitely shout out to her. It's crazy to go from summer league, and granted she take pictures for the Celtics already, but to go from taking pictures from the Celtics to going to sit in the suite with the likes of Robert Kraft and Cardi B. Hey,
Man.
that's fire, man. I love to see it.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Eyes Bree, man. Follow her on the ground.
Yes,
Then
sir.
we got the 20-27 game, Colts versus Steelers. And you would never guess it, it went the Steelers' way. We need to talk about that Aaron Rodgers hoax against for the Jets, because he 8 games in, got 13. I mean, wait, 1,600 yards, I believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, 17 TDs and 5-3 record. I think this time last year the Jets, I don't even know what was going on.
It wasn't good.
So, and then you at the top of the AFC North too. So it's kind of crazy. I don't know what the difference is between that Jets team, which is actually a pretty good paper team.
Yeah, on paper, yes.
Yeah, it's about I would say about the same as this Steelers team on paper, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what the difference is, but the Jets look like they're blowing their team up right now with this trade deadline we looking at here.
I think the NFL is the best. I would say it's the best team sport. I don't even want to make that sound like a take. I
Yeah,
just think there's so many more moving parts than there is on a basketball court. Baseball is really the pitcher against the batters, and then the defense backs up the pitcher. So that's the team. I think that's an it's kind of a gray area a little bit just because of how much is on the pitcher. Like
yeah,
the pitcher could really go 27 straight outs, and the infield or um the outfield don't even if he get 27 strikeouts in a row, he did that. So I think there is a gray area in baseball, but for the most part, I say football is probably the biggest team sport just because of all the moving parts. And like, I think it's funny to watch just looking at some of these games and seeing what teams came out with dubs this weekend and what teams didn't. I think the the term or the phrase scheme fit is very, very important, especially when you look at the NFL. I think obviously it's the NFL, it's the top league for football in the world. So there's talent across the board on every team. But to see, even let's look at the Steelers versus Colts game. The Steelers are gonna do what the Steelers do. Mike Tomlin, I'm not gonna get into it. Respect
We ain't
to him.
got
We ain't
it's
gotta
a
do it.
topic of discussion. We
Yeah,
ain't gotta do it.
respect to him.
Yeah, we ain't
But
gotta
just
do it.
everybody knows when you go, especially when you go to Pittsburgh, the Steelers are going to do their due diligence to muck up the game.
Yeah.
They're gonna make you try to run the football,
Mm-hmm.
and when that doesn't work, then they're gonna get after the quarterback, and that's exactly what happened. That was the first time. I mean, Daniel Jones still threw for 342, but it was the first time he looked flustered all season.
Yeah.
I mean, they hadn't punted. They're one of the only NFL teams that hasn't punted double digit times in 10 games. So just think about that. They have maybe punted once a game leading up into this game. But like just talk about the scheme, like even even what was the other game I was watching really close? Or even so you talked about the Jets. Trying to think about Vikings Lions. Like I,
Vikings
I
Lions.
knew that was gonna be a high scoring game just because it's only so many things you can do to stop the Lions because of their firepower, but at the same time the Viking scheme. They was able to fluster Jared Goff enough
Mm-hmm.
times for their offense to just put points on the board, and that's exactly what happened. Scheme fit is probably the most important thing, especially for kids that's trying to get to the NFL. Can you really fit in a scheme? It's the same thing with the NBA. Like, can you play your role?
Yeah.
And can you do it at a high level? Because you got, I mean, for the most part, we can say that the Lions are more talented on paper than the Vikings. But the Vikings won that game based off their scheme and what they did to win the game. I
Right.
just think that's when you look at NFL, when you look at the NFL and as a whole, and just look at some of these matchups. Sometimes, like it's hard to call it because sometimes schemes just be the perfect thing to stop even the Bills versus Chiefs. Like Bills ran the ball, they kept the ball away from Pat
Mm-hmm.
Mahomes.
Yep.
And even we talk about on defense, like they had him a little bit flustered. That's the first time the Chiefs offense didn't look good. It's just hilarious to watch all these games go on and like you just see these scheme versus scheme and who scheme really works on, it's crazy. Definitely
Yes.
crazy.
No, definitely. And then in that Vikings Lions game, that was a 27-24 game. Vikings way. JJ McCarthy return. And in that return, like you said, very scheme fit. He didn't throw for a lot of touchdowns, didn't do crazy yardage. But what they did well. And at the end of that game, he got the game ball because he made sure to stick with what was said and how they would win the game.
And it's weird. Like I think there is I would put Bo Nix in that category too, just in terms of being at the upper echelon of game managing quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Again, I know that's been like a constant topic, especially on like NFL sports analyst talk shows or whatever. They just talk about being a game changer versus a game manager, and I think you can have a great NFL career being a game managing quarterback, and how good can you do it? I think Jared Goff could potentially he's like a teeter in the line between like a guy that can make throws but
Yeah.
also is in the game manager type of skill set, which is not wrong. But like if you watch that game, JJ McCarthy was managing the game. He didn't do too much with the football. He got it to his playmakers, and they beat probably the most they up there with the Chiefs in terms of the most talented offense and the Bills talented
Yeah.
offense
Yeah.
in the league. So kudos to JJ McCarthy, and I'm glad to see a young quarterback that was hurt last season, missed all year, then comes back, has a comeback victory, then he gets hurt again. So then he missed like what three,
He
four
missed like
weeks,
3, 4
5.
weeks. Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
he has not played in a while. So to see him come back and pick back right where he left off for real, that's dope to see for sure.
Yeah, then we could talk about this 457 passing yards for 4 TDs by Joe Flacco and a loss that they shouldn't have lost to the Bears. 47-42. Should we be talking about Stefanski's unemployment at this point?
Hey,
Is a
chill,
real
chill, chill,
question.
chill, 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 chill.
That's a real question.
Chill on Kev, man. Scheme, and player personnel.
Hey,
Scheme and personnel. It would
he
look a
did
lot
he did
different
he did
if
gave the personnel up finally to Tommy Reese. So something cooking. Something cooking,
I
brother.
hope so because I that's been another thing. I know that a lot of Browns fans been talking about just how good Joe Flacco's looked, and then I also saw a stat where pressure rate is the lowest it's been on the Bengals since Joe Burrow got there.
Literally.
That's funny to see. Just because like Joe Burrow's been hurt because of the pressure. Like every time he gets hurt is because of some sack or pressure, and it's just funny to see Joe Flacco go on there. It's the second game he done thrown for 400 yards. I think he had another one with like high 300. And again, scheme is everything. Also personnel. I mean, you got Jamar Chase on one side and in the slot, and then you got T Higgins on the other side, most likely, or on the same side. Like, I get it. I get it.
I
I
get what you're
do.
saying. Yeah. I feel you, bro. I feel you 100%,
They
bro.
really put up 42 points, bro, and lost.
Yeah, that was a shootout. I mean, every game I've said so far have been close games from that past Sunday, including this game here, the Jaguars versus Raiders. That game was 30-29, which the Travis Hunter era of the Jaguars looks real good right now for the number 2 pick. But we know it's not so good right now for the first pick, who fell short in a 27-20 loss to the Chargers. But I mean, they're very close, it seems now, to finding a way to win because they're in games. The
Did
Titans
you
have
see?
not been out of games extremely heavy this season. It's just been like a couple mess ups here, a couple mess ups there that did like push them back to losing the game.
It You see what Draymond Jones said? He got traded today.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah, he
did,
was
but I
like,
didn't see what he said.
he basically tweeted out. I think he said like he obviously thanked the franchise, thanked Nashville. But he also said like y'all got one. Like Cam Ward, he gonna be one of them. He is the one. So
That's what's up.
he shows flashes. He shows flashes.
Yeah, no,
We spoke on him when we sat down with Mike. We wanted to see him do well, and I think it's a young team. They're in a rebuilding phase, obviously. Even though I think if you look back at that episode, we said they were, or Mike was like, "Yeah, we gonna be," and obviously stuff happens. But yeah, they a young team trying to figure out a way to win. I think the coaching that plays a big part too, and you lose your coach halfway through the year. So
yep.
we come in. You said all these games is close, but I think everybody kind of. I mean, it is week 10, so everybody kind of getting geared up for that playoff push.
Yep.
The incentive push is another thing too. We can speak on it. Like players got these goals that they're trying to get, so they come in the hoop.
Yeah.
Some of
I
the
wonder
hoop.
what Stephon Diggs' incentives look like, boy.
I must. It's gotta be. It's gotta
Because he
be.
been turning up.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be close. If it's no, it's definitely 1,000, 1,000, maybe even 1,200.
He been turning up lately. His incentive got to be nice.
Hey, and to say that he was like a prima donna receiver in Buffalo, and like I know that was a little bit of the topic on why he was moved or whatever. He been culture changing.
I mean, you got to be a little prima donna a little bit to play receiver,
I
though,
want my
bro.
receiver to. I want my receiver
Yeah,
to be the biggest prima
it's no
donna.
way you not gonna be a prima donna and you play receiver. The position is built on skill.
I
Like,
need I, I need a rock star lead singer at wide receiver. I
yeah,
don't
literally,
need a backup dancer, bro.
it's built on skill. It's not built on brook or none of the extra
So
stuff. So yeah,
he
you got to
cha-
be a
he
little prima donna.
he changing that whole wide receiver room from
No, yeah, like
Pop Douglas,
Demario.
yeah, him Pop Douglas, and then Booty,
Mm-hmm.
and both they were both nice in college, especially Booty,
Yeah,
but I think uh I think Diggs' veteran leadership and then his play is still elite. Like he's still an elite receiver. So to see him come and change that wide receiver room, and then when your receivers is hooping, it only gives a young quarterback in his second year the utmost confidence to just, hey, he down there somewhere,
hey,
and
literally.
he down there somewhere. So yeah, I'm the Patriots. All right, all
Drake
right,
May, baby. Drake May. Drake May.
nah, for sure.
Man, that's a good recap right there. Sunday's games, the Week 10 season of the NFL.
Hey, at least the
Got,
Browns ain't lose, man.
hey, got a great bye week. Great bye week. Great bye. I hope they have recuperated and got it together because just get to try to win some games at this point, bro. Got to try to win
Hey,
some
the
games.
last thing on the Browns, no trades? Or we made one
We
trade.
won one trade, one
But
trade.
like a six round pick?
I don't know. It's okay. Yeah. At this point, we just gotta stop and let it go.
It's hard. It's so hard to let it go. Cause it's like, bro, we
Y'all just
traded
gotta
for
start being like
Levi.
me, man. Just be if you could be a halfer, then you wouldn't care as much.
It's so hard for us to be halfers though. That's not in our blood. It's not in our nature, bro.
Man,
A half Browns fan, you might as well be a Steelers fan. That's a red flag.
you you gotta grow up one day, man.
That's
Chief
a
Keef
red
told you.
flag, bro. That's
Chief Keef
crazy.
told you when we was growing up. You gotta grow up one day, bro.
It's so nuts, bro.
Hey, I mean, what else can we do other than cheer for them good old Cleveland Cavaliers?
Man, man.
Could have had the guards at the big dance this year. So I guess we leave
Hey,
it. We leave
that's
it in the hands of the Cavs, bro.
we can just to touch on the Dodgers. I know that happened this week.
Hmm.
Dodgers won the World Series. I'm glad I got to watch. I watched 3 out of the 7 games. Game 7, obviously, I was watching that, especially towards the end. Um, a lockout might be coming in the MLB for the first time in a minute, and I think it is needed just in terms of the every, every sports. There's always going to be, oh, we have a chance to win this year, and the MLB with no salary cap, especially with
Yeah,
owners with frugal, like they frugal
there's no
opportunities
salary
to,
cap.
yeah. I'm a throw if I'm an owner, I'm throwing my money at everybody that come out. I seen an article that says the Dodgers had Terry Scuba on their big board. We're talking about the Cy Young winner. It's you already got Otani. We just seen Yamamoto go back to back dubs. Like it's at that point.
That makes sense when my boy Otani said I'm going for 3 next year.
Going for 3, but again, they have the money, they have the means to acquire this talent
Yeah,
and go out and compete to win championships. I mean, they got
yeah.
the best player, the best two-way. There are no two-way players in baseball. They have the best two-way player. He's probably the best hitter and like a top 15, top 10 pitcher. Then
And
they
then
got
that
another.
crazy to say he the best hitter after we just seen what Aaron Judge did like 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever that was. That's
Is
crazy.
is the Dodgers definitely I'm glad that there will be some type of sanctioning on the cap situation in the MLB because there is no parity anymore. There's no point of watching it all the way to the World Series. Granted, the Blue Jays definitely gave them smoke. I mean, they forced 7 games, but and they definitely smoked the game. Like
They
there's
smoked the
another.
game.
It's always two sides of the coin. But at the
They
same
smoked the
time,
game.
it's like imagine if there was more
They smoked
talent.
the game twice too,
They
actually.
did. They did. They did. They did. That was tough to watch as being a Cleveland fan, knowing how many shortcomings we done had in big games, and seeing the Blue Jays with bases loaded and not getting one run. It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. But
What more can you ask for, man?
definitely some food for thought though to see how this, especially when they do those spring or those winter meetings. When all the owners and stuff get together, it's gonna be interesting to see if they, could get through a lockout or avoid a lockout. So.
Yeah. You got anything you want to touch on?
Yeah, man. Let's talk NBA, bro. Of course,
Okay, let's go.
we gotta talk NBA. Looking at the standings right now, I mean, nobody predicted that the Sixers would be at the top. Nobody predicted that the Bulls would be this good this early. Granted, it
Yeah.
is. We haven't even seen a team play 10 games yet, so I mean, you know, take it for what it is right now. But it is interesting to see how stuff is starting off at least. Just talking about a little bit about the Sixers, I think they clearly hit in the draft with VJ Edgecombe. He was at the top of the lottery or top of the boards for a reason. I mean, peak athleticism, um, he's a gamer. He's not scared of anything.
Right.
His upbringing's definitely, played a part in that, but you can just see it in his mannerisms on the court. Like he carries himself like he's the best player on the floor, and you want
Hmm.
that in your rookie. You want that in a high draft pick like him. Uh, and I think even if we're looking at Cooper Flag or just any of these rookies that any rookie that ever has been drafted in any sport, like when you draft somebody, you obviously are planning for the future. Like you see them in the future being a prominent focal point of the franchise, and you want them to do all these things, obviously win and bring stuff
Right.
to the city or whatever. But like, I know for an organization, it's so rewarding to see it pan out in year one, especially like the first 3 weeks of the season. Like he's already had his debut was loud. He followed it up with another loud performance, and then you look at this conference standings again. We only about 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks in, like, and they're at the top of the standings, and they don't even have their guys at full strength. I know Embiid has been on a minutes restriction, as well as we haven't seen Paul George play. And those are whatever you want to say about their injuries, whatever you want to say about them, they still elite talent for
Yeah.
basketball. So, Bulls have been surprising as well. I think Josh Giddey is taking that next step. He was already a stat sheet stuffer. This in terms of being able to, almost get a triple double every night. But his shooting has improved a lot. Um, as a Cavs fan, like you cannot not speak on Okoro. I think that he has brought a little bit to their culture just in terms of, he's been to the playoffs the last couple of years with the Cavs. He's seen the Cavs when they were trying to figure it out. He's definitely brought it on the defensive end for them too, just in terms of like getting everybody to buy in. They still got Vucevic over there, so they've been another surprising team to start off. Who else we got? Oh, we definitely got the Spurs. I mean, I think again,
It's nothing.
everybody
It's nothing
knew.
to say honestly about the Spurs, bro. It's it's
Everybody
it's
knew
it's crazy though because we all knew, but I don't think it was gonna be to this
this
magnitude.
fast. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, like this fast to the point where it's like this team, this Spurs team, look head and waters over everybody right now, bro.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not
Nah,
gonna say that.
it's pretty there because when you think about the people that aren't playing right now and what they're
Yes. Okay.
doing.
Only reason I was gonna say head over here is because the Thunder still haven't lost a game this year. I mean,
We're right. I mean,
yeah,
the Thunder is that's the one team that I
yeah,
mean, when you're the past champs, you got to give them
yeah.
their
You gotta get them their flower.
so
That's the
yeah,
only, but everybody else though they do look like a well-oiled machine. They seem like they figured out their
yeah,
dynamic, especially. And again, we haven't seen De'Aaron Fox lace him
man.
up
That's what I'm
this
saying.
season. I That is
Aren't they
definitely.
missing some other people too? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Jeremy
So
Sohan. Yeah, I
yeah,
don't think he's played this year either. He's like a connector piece. So yeah, they definitely the Western Conference. Just from looking at it right now, the Grizzlies are at 12, the Mavericks are at 14. I think that shocked a lot of people. And then like you got the Suns, the Blazers are at 7 with all the stuff they've had going on. It's gonna be you better come to play every night because
no, on that West Coast.
you don't want to get to the you don't want to get to February and y'all at 11 or
Yeah,
12.
yeah.
Again, it's only been 2, 3 weeks into the
It's
season, but
scratching
it's
and
just
clawing, scratching and
yeah,
clawing.
scratching and clawing because by the end of, like by February after All-Star break, everybody knows it's like a 15 game stretch to the playoffs. Everybody is putting out their best foot forward, especially these teams that need to get back in the playoff picture. And with the play-in, you don't want to have to go to a play-in and then like the play-in, you get the least amount of rest, especially if you're at 9 or 10 or even 8. You might have to play a game and then go play another one in the span of 3 days. So 2 games in 72 hours. Game one of a playoff is different from game 82 or game 81, or my bad, game 83 or 84. That's extra games that you don't want to play. So it'd be interesting to see how the rest of the West shakes out. Definitely cannot not touch on Austin Reeves.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, who's number 12? I
yeah,
don't know either.
Jake LaRavia. I think the
Boy,
Lakers
the
right now
Lakers.
they surprised. I think they are surprising to sit at 6-2.
Mm-hmm.
They missed Luka Doncic. multiple half the games. Obviously, Brian has not played yet this year, but they trust in their young guys a lot, which is good to see. Shout out Nick Smith. He was with the Swarm last year, or with the Hornets, and he spent some time in the G League. But he's one of those guys that has taken the opportunity to take full advantage of it. He just had a 20-point game off the bench in 20 minutes. Who else? Jake LaRavia, the Ant, like you said, Ant had the viral clip, like, who is number 12? Like, I mean, he hasn't really played that much, over the past couple of years. He's been in the league for a minute, but, he's one of those guys that he can shoot the ball, that travels, and then he's a good basketball player. Like, IQ wise, you can tell he has played the right way most of his life. And then Austin Reeves, again, somebody we knew that I don't think that anybody knew he was going to be a max player, but I think for the most part, I mean, the way he's, you know, his rise up the ranks in the Lakers organization, like being undrafted, and now being one of the focal points is like, how can you not give him his flowers? And I remember having a conversation with one of my boys, and he was saying like he would never be a starter. He know who he is when he see this, he gonna be like, of course you said that. But he was like, he'll never be a starter
I know
anywhere
who
for
they
any other
is.
team. Yes, you know who it is. Yeah. Yeah. But I just was thinking about him like I don't know if I could say that because when it was early, it was probably like 2, 3 years ago. But it's like if you watch his game, he knows how to do everything on the court, whether that's be a pesky defender. We've seen him like have the scratch and claw in like a Caruso role. Granted, he didn't do it as good, but he still had to be one of those hustle guys. Then they said, all right, let's throw you on the ball a little bit. Then he was like, oh, he can score a little bit too. But if you watched him in college, he did exactly what he's doing now. So it's not surprising to see. I think it's surprising to see in this magnitude. Like the game he had, what was it, 16 assists with like 2 or 3 turnovers. Like that's outrageous, bro.
Yeah.
That, that's
They calling
that's
him modern day Jerry West, bro. You ain't been
yeah, I
seeing it?
seen that. I seen that
They
too.
calling him
That's
modern day Jerry West.
I mean, I'm Jerry West is the logo, so like I'm not I would like for us to tread lightly, slightly. However, it's
Well, we know it
again,
should be a new logo. We ain't got to speak on who that's
no,
supposed
for
to be,
sure.
but we
For
we
sure.
know we know it's supposed to be a new logo.
Yeah, for sure. I think with Austin Reeves, again, young players, like please study these players that are not in the upper echelon of athletes. Austin Reeves, he can get on the rim. He definitely get on the rim. He's
Yeah,
capable. He's obviously out there playing with these, elite athletes. However, he's not. I wouldn't even put him in the top 50, top 60 of athletes in the NBA. And when I say athletes, I mean like quickness, speed, vertical. He's not nowhere near that, and he's one of the most effective players, or has been this year. So I definitely want young players to like just look at him and just picture yourself like, all right, can I be this effective if I don't have elite speed, elite bursts? Is my first step not, the facts are, can I get off the ground? Like he's dissecting defenses to the point where they're doubling him off ball screens. Like that's nuts, man. Just I love to see players that had to get it out the mud, and now they on. It's like, oh, did we see this? Like, no, y'all didn't for real. Like a lot of people wrote him off. So
yeah,
yeah, man. Yeah,
yeah, man. The NBA heating up, NFL heating up. Sound like we're gonna have a lot to talk about, bro. A real lot to talk about.
everybody know this the best season though. Back when basketball started to pick up and then football get into like week 11, week 12. Don't call me on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You know where I'm at.
Yeah, hopefully we on the pod, brother. Thank
Nah, for
y'all for
sure.
listening to another episode of Lab Rats and Loaded Moms, man. I'm your boy Aubrey Ward Jr. And of course, your boy Twan, your favorite trainer and coach. Thank y'all. Yeah, tweez.